first question is, did you know that Rocky Horror was going to be what it is now? And my answer is always no. I was too stoned 50 years ago to know anything. I didn't even know how I got home at night from the filming. And I wasn't the only one.
No.
Remember, I think all those guys, the background guy, what are they called? The
Day players?
No. They used to be called the ghouls when it was done on stage, but the Transylvanians they were a great group of actors, and some of them were celebrities in their own right, in London and in England at the time. But they all hung out in a Volkswagen bus in between shots, and you'd open up the door and you'd go, "Whoa, yeah, that's how you're getting through this 2 weeks, huh?" Yeah, no, they're great, and I just remember one time we were doing the first scene in the movie was the wedding scene, right? Mm-hmm. And the car with the couple who just got married was taking off from the parking lot in front of the church, and one of the Transylvanians who were all the guests at the wedding, I remember one of them saying out loud, probably you can hear it on the film, as they were driving away, he said, "Hit the kid, hit the kid." There was some kid apparently there right in front of the thing, and I'm sure that was done after he'd smoked a few, and thank God they didn't hit the kid.
Yes,
the movie would have been shut down after the first day. Well, it was almost shut down pretty much halfway through it because they were running over budget, and Fox didn't want to continue it, and Lou Adler, they found another $200,000 to finish the movie, and Fox never really got what we were making and what we were doing. Consequently, when it first came out, if you know the movie, I mean, it was a huge flop, and it only became something once it was this smart guy named Tim Deegan, who worked at Fox, was a young guy who's found some way to get into the midnight circuit. He had this thought that he could get it out there and get college kids and the gay community involved, and create this. Well, he didn't know what he was creating, other than they just trying to get some of their money back, And Tim Deegan, this guy, he just wrote a book on it, and it'll be out in September, I think. You didn't know that, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that one. No.
Yeah, no, I just talked to him and gave him a quote. It seems like this is our 50th year of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Everybody's writing a damn book. And my son has always said to me, "Well, why don't you write a book, Dad?" And I try to remind him that I was stoned most of the time, and I don't remember anything about. No, I wasn't stoned most of the time. I was the straight one. I was the Brad Majors, the guy, the throwback male. I always thought that I was the least interesting character. So few people ever want to dress up like Brad at events.
But I've seen it. We've seen it.
No, they do it, but it's usually a woman. Who wouldn't want to play Frankenfurter, right? That sort of devious, cunning, horrible human being that he was.
If I picked one, I'd be the narrator, just because cigarette holder and
yeah.
That's my speed.
Yeah, but you have a neck.
Yeah, that's true.
It's funny when it's done on stage. Right now, everybody, it's become where if you do it on stage, if you do the actual show, the Rocky Horror Show on stage, the audience thinks that they should talk back to the live actors on stage, and I would never do that. I would never be an actor in it on stage because, there's two scripts have evolved the one that was written by Richard O'Brien, the one that is written by the fans, and now there's a third one that the actors, if you do it on stage, they have to have a callback to a callback. They have to have something. So if somebody says, where's your neck? And the guy says, that was in the movie. I have a neck, and all of the characters, they have to come up with this third script of how to deal with the rowdy people out there, the unglued. I like to call them the unglued masses of Rocky Horror fans.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but good in a good way.
Yeah, no, I'll say that's not. Means they're free spirits, as we know they are.
Yeah. So I'm, but I've really enjoyed my 50 years of being able to sort of represent Rocky Horror and what it has meant to the world and meant to the individuals who perhaps have embraced in their lives maybe more what their authentic selves might be, and to find their own community and just don't feel so much like a stranger in the world, because Rocky Horror exists, and they see that there are other people like them who enjoy that. Not necessarily, they're not all, from transsexual Transylvania, but I'm sure many of them think they are, and that's wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful that they can just think about all of our differences and embrace them. That's what I say.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So, just want to throw a couple things out there. Okay, we the documentary that we've been collectively talking about for about 2 years now. We're just about there, aren't we?
Yeah. We a documentary. There's a lot of documentaries. There's one out on Rocky Horror too. Richard O'Brien's son. Just what's the name of his documentary? Do you remember that?
I don't know offhand.
It's about Richard O'Brien, who wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show. His son is just finished a documentary on Richard's life, and it's really good. He interviewed us all, but it's not just about his involvement with Rocky Horror. It's his whole involvement in his life and his all his theater stuff and other things he's written, and that's just coming out. But we're finishing up a thing called Making Megaforce, a documentary on the making of Megaforce. And
Megaforce fans?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Sit down. No, please, sit down. No, it's all right. Megaforce was a movie, a G.I. Joe kind of movie that we made in 83? 83. And it, again, didn't make any money. And we have a huge fan base now online, maybe 368 people. But we've decided, I got involved in making this documentary, and we call it the documentary that nobody was asking for. And it's ending up really good. We're opening up in a festival in a couple of weeks, and we'll probably be screening it at some GalaxyCon.
I think so too. I think the plan is that once it debuts, I think so next year, if it hasn't gotten full widescreen, we'll probably do a screening here and a little commentary, all that fun stuff. So
yeah. But it's a movie. Really, it's a movie about a fan. His name's Bob, and he fell in love and was really moved by Megaforce when he was 12 years old, 11 years old, and so he spent his adult life trying to recreate some of those feelings, and in so doing, he collected a lot of the vehicles that were in the movie, and he knows everything about it. And the journey of the documentary is that he finds me, and I'm his hero in his mind. I mean, in his heart. And because when Megaforce came out, it was really one of those movies that was just black and white. There was the good guys, there was the bad guys, and I was the epitome of the good guy, and he and his life at that point needed a good guy, and so it's an you can actually go on makingmegaforce.com and see the trailers for it, which are very funny, and it's a funny. We interviewed everybody who's still alive and who gave a crap about it.
And some who didn't.
And some who didn't, because that was always the first answer when we would talk to somebody, the ex-producer or whatever, and the first question and answer was, "Why are you doing this?" You know, and then but I think they'll all find out ultimately why we did it, and it's like a bromancean kind of documentary, and probably nobody will see it either. It's just like the movie.
I think more people will see that than saw the movie in the theaters.
Yes, well, it's because it's really about being a fan.
And I legitimately think too the buzz it's getting, because it's getting really good buzz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really is getting some good buzz from what I understand it, and I think it's going to be a breakout. I really do.
A breakout.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I produced it. I should.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope it is. Just because it's about something heartwarming, I think, and it's about Hal Needham directed it. Who I don't know if you know who he is. He's a big stunt guy, and he did
Smokey and the Bandit. Hooper did a lot of those classic Burt Reynolds sort of films, and yeah, he was not an actor's director.
I would say not.
No, I'm quoting you. I'm quoting you.
It probably never made any money. The stunts and all that stuff were great, but we were writing the script on the way to the set every day. You know.
Yeah. And it was your career in musical theater that got you that part.
Yes, because I was in my musical theater career. I had a tendency to play over the top characters. You know, very larger than life. And so when they hired me for this, the producer said, you know, we just want. I had just gotten done doing Pirates of Penzance and playing the Pirate King, and he was a very flashy guy and over the top, and made fun of himself. Well, he didn't know he was making fun of himself, but he was. And so that's what they wanted for Ace Hunter. This. Why are we talking about it? Nobody the fucking seen this movie.
We're selling it. We're selling it. It's like she's seen it. Okay.
Megaforce? Oh yeah. Well, we've just been talking about it for a half hour, and nobody cares. Oh, okay. Yes. No. I thank you for coming. Yeah, you can leave now. All right, yeah.
Sit down, get back, sit down.
Jesus, we've talked about this, you and I, over and over these years.
Are those surveillance glasses?
Yeah.
No, this guy over here has a little light. Okay, yeah, because I can see the little light. So.
What are they?
Oh, he's got a camera built into his glasses.
Wilder, are you filming this? You're stalking me, Wilder. Oh, God. Wilder and I become great friends over the weekend.
Okay, cool.
He works for Southwest Airlines.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and he's the reason why I never fly Southwest Airlines. I think I can tell, right? No.
Well, now that I can finally pick my seat, it's no longer gonna be at the bottom of my list. Oh.
I have a hack. My hack. What's my hack, Wilder? What? My hip, yeah. I always go up and I go, I just had a hip replacement.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they see me walking down into the plane, hey, that's all right, no problem. But that's what I just did coming here with Southwest. Okay. I had a hip replacement, but I couldn't sit in the exit row, which is where I wanted to be. Thank you very much, Wilder. You were. Yeah. All right.
We're talking about. You want to do our little game? Like I said, I've got something from your past, some
past?
footage, and we can see if you recognize it and have any recollections of it.
You're always good at this. Either you bring a song that I did with some, from some album or something I did before Rocky Horror, and or you bring up something incredibly embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, it's been. I have to admit, I have not actually seen this myself.
Oh,
So,
but you haven't seen what you're going to show?
No, I've seen this little trailer for it, but I have not.
Trailer for something I did.
Yes.
Is it a movie?
Whoa, well, let's watch it and find out.
I got to see it. How do I see it?
Oh, we got to go down and we got to go in front of the screen over there.
Okay, wait
so.
a minute. I got to come back here.
Right.
Okay, good. Let's see. Hold on. I'm coming. I'm not leaving.
All right, come on. Move that hip.
Okay, let's see.
All right,
Where
we
are
good?
the screens? Oh,
All right, that's over here, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Is that the only suit you own? No. I love this suit. He was at the screening
premiere.
and
When this mother hired a summer girl to help with the kids, she had no way of knowing how the girl would react to her handsome husband.
Yes,
But she
handsome.
never expected it could possibly go this far.
I want to make you feel good, Gavin. They want me to stay. They'll get over it. No. I want my family back.
Kim Darby and Barry Bostwick star in Summer Girl next.
You don't understand, Gavin. She drugged me and kidnapped the kids.
And we never got them back. Thank God. Jim, that's,
Summer Girl.
Summer Girl. I didn't know
CBS
that they
TV
make
movie.
trailers and stuff like that.
Well,
for
it was a
shitty TV
commercial,
movies.
so.
Really, my God. That's I need that. Can you send that to me, please?
Sure, absolutely.
Wow.
And I think the whole movie is on YouTube. I just haven't got a chance
is it
to.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not
In
bad.
that same
it's not
quality.
bad. Who's that?
in the same quality. But,
And who's the girl who played the summer girl?
that was.
You know, I mean, she's like she does a convention. She does.
Yeah, she was. She did the Last American Virgin, and she did a couple. She kind of went away to raise a family, and she's back now. She's working again.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. I can look it up real quick.
Okay. Good.
But Kim Darby, though, okay, from True Grit and a bunch of other stuff, she's
still
she had a
alive?
career. Yeah, she's still
She
with
is?
us.
Yeah.
She
Derby
does
Derby, we
animation
used to
work
call
now, I
it.
believe.
Does she?
Yeah.
She was good. Diane Franklin, right. And she does a lot of these conventions. Yeah. Still pretty. Right. And
When I don't know something, he knows it.
yeah.
So,
Summer Girl.
any remembrance of that whatsoever?
Yeah, we shot it in Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I made one of my best friends, Hunt Block, who was an actor, was in it. And we used to hit all the strip bars at night. You know, that's what I remember.
Okay.
I don't remember that at all. Well, yes, I do. That was a fun movie to make. The the parents or the grandparents were, I think they were like old movie stars or something. I forget who they are. Yeah, I'll have to go on, Google it and see who were the older. I think my mother was somebody who I should have known who it was. But, you know, those were before the internet. That, you know, you didn't know who anybody was. You would have had to gone to the library to find out who people were. Now it's like, 3 seconds, and you'll tell me my whole life and who I worked with in 5 seconds.
When Seductive City comes to babysit for a troubled couple, she's after more than extra spending money. Starting with the kids working around her husband, Evil City plots to.
Are you talking about me?
No, talking about the what IMBD says about.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Plots to take over the mother's life, ruthlessly ending and developing anyone who gets in the way.
She would.
Yes.
Diane Franklin.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, those were the years that I did a lot of like husbands in TV movies, and either you know, I was jilted by them or I had an affair with a teenager, and I was sent to court or something.
Martha Scott.
Martha Scott.
And Murray Hamilton, the mayor from Jaws.
That's right. Yeah, they were all there.
I want those little bastards proud of hang up by their Buster Browns.
And those kids are probably now 53, 58.
One of them is David Faustino, who would go on to play Bud Bundy in Married with Children.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was one of the kids. Well,
yeah.
What about the daughter? She
doesn't doesn't say, there's no picture of her, so I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And Linda Ryan, she was actually a character actress. She was always playing secretaries and teachers and stuff.
This is interesting, isn't it? I mean, I'm reviewing my life here in front of you. Summer Girl, good. You know what I would love to do?
What would you love to do?
I'd love to answer some questions.
That's what I was about to say. I was going to go out there and do that. I got the candy.
You got the candy.
Yep.
You're creepy.
Yes.
And I have a picture, a signed picture for the best question of anybody. So I won't tell you what the picture is of.
It's not Summer Girl.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you've never seen that one, have you? That picture? No. Huh? Yeah. I'll sell it to you.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, okay. I got another one. All right.
All right. Sounds good. I get mine from his discount. All right. Tell you what. Let me see hands who think they might have something. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just do a line. We'll do a line.
I thought you left.
Come on, let's do it.
I know. Come on.
I don't really have a voice because I've been streaming Rocky Horror, the burlesque shows.
Oh.
That's fine. So, what's your name?
Maria.
Maria. What do you got, Maria?
I'm reviewing some of your past films and stuff like that. Before I actually knew who you were and seen Rocky Horror, you were in Teen Beach Movie.
Teen Beach Movie.
Yes. Do you remember
Well, that was
anything
good,
about
yeah.
that and like your experience working on that and anything?
I didn't have a song. I sang in the last beach scene where we sort of sang and danced with everybody. But that's one of the best sort of Disney musicals, Teen Beach Movie. Yeah. I mean, and the everybody was good in that. And the music was great. And the story was interesting, you know. What was the story? I was too stoned at the time.
It was almost a play on like West Side Story, but it was Wet Side Story.
Wet Side Story.
And then they were surfing and they got sucked into a storm, which put them into the movie.
Yeah.
And then they had to play out the movie and keep the plot on track to get back. And then there was a second film as well. And I think the movie characters came to the real world was the plot of the second film.
Oh, I wasn't in the second one.
I didn't think so. I didn't rewatch that one because you weren't in
No.
it. So.
So it was like Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello from the surf movies in the real world, kind of like that.
Yeah.
I need to check this out. All right, this sounds like it sounds very fun. Okay, all right, sounds good. That was fun. You get 2 for starting us off. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. I remember, when I got cast in that, the character didn't have a name. It was like grandpa. And I said, I need to have a name if you want me to do it. And so we came up with Big Papa, right? That was my name, Big Papa. I ran the surf shop. Yeah. I was her grandfather of the young girl. Yeah. Huh.
And you
Really?
were a surfer, weren't you?
What's that?
You were a surfer
Was I surfer?
back in the day?
Back in the day.
Yeah,
But not in this day.
Right.
Back in the day, I was.
You're a potter now.
Yeah, I'm a potter now, but no, because I grew up in California, you know, on the coast. So you had to, whether you were good or not, I had to go in the water. You know, I had to. It's freezing. The water in California, isn't it? The water in California is freezing. My son was a big surfer, Santa Cruz. That's where I would surf, in Santa Cruz. Yeah, because I grew up in San Mateo, which is in the Bay Area, and it's water's freezing. A lot of sharks too, if I remember correctly. Yeah. The wetsuits. Yeah.
What's your
Sorry,
name?
you okay?
Yeah. What's your name?
Claire Isaacs.
Hi, Claire.
So you talked about some of your musical theater experience. What was some of your favorite experiences or like favorite show you did you did live musical theater?
Yeah.
and live musical theater.
I started in New York doing theater, and I went to NYU School of the Arts working on my master's in acting. And I quit school after 1 year for my master's because I was working and they were I was working in a repertory company on Broadway called APA Phoenix Repertory Company. And when I was in school for that 1 year, I was selling programs, in the lobby and doing all that kind of stuff. But soon after that, I was doing a series of off-Broadway and off-Broadway musicals. And then I was lucky to get in Grease, the original Grease on Broadway. And I created the part of Danny Zuko that Travolta played in the movie, and that was, iconic. I mean, the Grease is like Rocky Horror, it's just one of those sort of things that will never die. right? We'll all die around it, but it will still keep going, and it well, you know, it created, similar to Rocky, a family of young actors who have stayed. We've stayed with it and stayed together all these years, and. But yeah, like Rocky, it wasn't a big hit when we first. It got sort of mixed reviews, and then it just found its audience quickly, and we moved theaters, and then it became the longest running theater on Broadway for until something went longer. Probably, what was it?
Or
Phantom, yeah,
or
Phantom
Les
of the
Mis, or
Opera,
one of
yeah.
those. You know,
Yeah, or that dance thing.
your new friend says his chorus line was
Chorus line was the one that, yeah.
Sounds about right.
I was in the last workshop of Chorus Line. I was playing the choreographer, the lead guy, and it's funny. We were rehearsing and writing it on its feet, and right about a week before we opened, or we were supposed to open off Broadway, I left the show because I wasn't. The character all of a sudden just became a voice in the audience, and I always said, can't you give him a song or something really interests me? And I remember at one point in the rehearsals, I think right after Bobby broke his leg or something, we would just sit there and everybody would think about, well, what would Zach is his name, right? Yeah. What would Zach be saying, doing, feeling at this point? And I think we came up with nothing. And so, Michael Bennett and I sat down and we're going, maybe this just isn't a good fit for you, And so I left the show before it opened, and the guy who was playing the assistant choreographer bumped up to the choreographer, and but it was good for me because within a couple of months I got a show called The Robber Bridegroom, which I won a Tony Award for. So it was good for me, and it was a much better part, and I actually had some good songs in it. Yeah. So that everybody has sort of like their Broadway decade. I had my 70s were my decade, and then I did the last one I did on Broadway called Nick and Nora, which was based on the Thin Man movies, and it was, but that was like in the mid '90s. Not a big successful movie. It was not. It was good in a way, but it again wasn't successful. But we were only open for 10 days, but we did 2 months of previews in New York because they couldn't afford to go out, and so they had to do all their changes and all of their additions while we were performing every night in New York on Broadway. And so the show went through all of these changes, and the word of mouth was that it was troubled, that the show was troubled because of all the changes. And I think that sort of caught up with us, the controversy. And a lot of people lost a lot of money on that. But I was happy to be out of it because it was a rough show. In fact, I haven't done a Broadway show since then. I doubt if I will because it's too much work, just a lot of work. 8 shows a week. It was you had to be young and not smoke. I don't smoke now, but I remember back when we were doing Grease. Everybody was smoking, and then every month we'd all lose our voices, and Jeff Conaway or somebody would take over from my part for a day or two while we got our voices back, because we were singing those falsetto things, a lot. But what's your experience with Broadway?
I do Lyric Theater of Oklahoma. It's local. It's like the state theater, and so I do that
Nice.
about every semester. Yeah.
Oh, nice. See, I could never do those shows, those classics, because I never had that kind of voice. Later on I could have done them, but I'll leave that to real singers and people who, like that type of stuff. I've always been drawn to the edgier things. You know. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Sam.
Hi, Sam.
I kind of got a off the beat question. So traveling a lot for work, food is a lot of the time an afterthought. So what is the most memorable thing you've eaten on the road, and what is something that you like to eat that makes you feel like you're at home?
Are you saying eaten on the road?
Eats like food.
What, food?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a question nobody's ever asked me. I don't like food. No, I don't really. I when I'm on the road like this, I always try to get something, some Thai food or something, and take it back to my hotel room. People say, they're always like, have we ever gone out to eat, Patty?
We've gone out to drink, but
We've had drink. That's the most I'll do with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll meet them for a drink in the bar, and then I'll go upstairs. Yeah. But so I always get a takeout or something. I try to, and then take it to my room and watch CNN. So my wife is a great cook. And I only eat chicken and fish, and she just hates the fact that, that she can't do all these wonderful things that she does. And then she always wants to entertain people and have them over. I say, I don't want to see people. I don't want to see them eat, and I don't want them to see me eat. Yeah, no, I'm a private eater. I like to just be in my room, that's what I do. So that's the only answer to that question. Now, piss off. Thank you.
When you're on a touring production for a production, you get a little more latitude. But, people say, oh, it must be fun to travel. It's like, bro, I see the airport, I see the convention center, and I see our hotel.
Yeah,
and then I see the airport again. And that's
right.
kind of it. I don't get really a chance to check out all the local stuff.
But I see the local people. I mean, because I've talked with people all day, and I really get a sense of the city. And the life of the city, and I love it here. This is my second year here, right in Oklahoma City. Yeah, and it's been really a wonderful experience here.
Absolutely, yeah.
And my room at the Omni is good, and I have takeout dishes all over it that I'm sure the people who clean my room aren't very happy about me, because I have a tendency at late at night to have a bag of popcorn, and then after I've taken my Ambien, the popcorn goes everywhere in the room. It's like, so.
Okay. Hey, what was your name?
Mitchell.
What you got, Mitchell?
Kind of piggybacking off of Claire's question earlier, with regards to your musical theater's career, yes, sorry. What was your biggest, what was the inspiration for you to get into musical theater? What was something that
Girls.
you saw that?
It was at high school. All the pretty girls were in the theater department, and I think I also, I think I just needed the attention, and I loved just doing it and getting the attention, and and so and then eventually I that wore off on me. I didn't. Okay, here's the story right here.
This is new to me too.
I asked John. I said, I need what this gentleman has in his hand there. What is that called? It's called a milkshake. And you made this happen for me? Thank you. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Thanks so much. And thank you, John. Thank you. You've interrupted a show brilliantly. That's wonderful. Oh my God. See, this is what it's like being on the road and being.
Got me nervous when I see that mic coming around and everything else too. I'm like,
Oh, that's great. I wanted a vanilla milkshake. That's great. Thank you.
He's one of our security guys.
You asked me something. I don't know what the hell it was.
How to get into theater? Girls.
Girls. Well,
Yeah.
that's a smart ass answer, isn't it? But no, I think it's just it's challenging. You know, it's challenging to get up in front of people and be confident that you're enough. You know, to be seen and heard, and eventually I just sort of grew out of needing to be out in front and, you know, having this kind of attention. And so I eventually sort of got much more comfortable with film and television.
Who is it?
Just tell him I'll be right there. Yeah, I'll be right there. Yeah, tell him we'll be surfing in Santa Cruz very soon. Yeah. So I had little folk singing groups when I was in high school, and you know, we used to play at high school things and the YMCA's and all of that, and so it was just part of my DNA, you know, and my parents always encouraged it, so I didn't have to fight anybody, you know. But I'm fighting with you, man. You look great. Thanks for being so supportive of us this weekend. I loved you in the front row. Very enthusiastic. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So we got a few minutes left, so we'll take care of these two folks there. So,
I know
hey,
this
what's your
guy.
name?
My name is Michael.
What you got, Michael?
Hi, Michael.
I was wondering if you'd be interested in starting an underwear company because you're selling a lot of them.
Well, Michael, you know, you don't have them on today, right?
You're right. I did forget them today.
No, you didn't. Michael bought my underwear the other day. Well, your father bought it, right?
Yes, you did.
Bought my underwear. I sell underwear at my table that, you know, Brad would have worn in the movie. Michael immediately put them on in front of me, put over his clothes, and walked away. And how long did you have them on?
I did have them on all day. I tried to get them JSA authenticated, and they had to have me take them off for that.
You got them authenticated?
Yes, while wearing them. They kept making jokes about who was going to have to check for the signature.
Oh, that's great. Really? And did they put that little sticker on my underwear?
Yes, they did.
Seriously?
Yep.
And then the next day, you wore them on your hat.
Yeah, I was scared of the signature rubbing off. The Sharpie was having issues.
Oh, God. You're the craziest asshole here. I thought I was the biggest asshole in the room. Thank you. Did you have a question, or was I just going to make fun of you for 5 minutes?
I was wondering if you were going to start your own company for that.
My own company, but I rely on Target. You know, I get my underwear nine per pack, you know, for $18. So if you spent $60 to get my underwear, just imagine how much I'm making off of that.
Now he does
Thank
make and sell clocks.
Yeah, what's that?
Make and sell clocks.
Oh, I make clocks. I made a bunch of jewelry for this show, and I'll make anything. I just love making stuff. I'm a maker. I'm a potter. I'm a ceramicist. I have a studio, and I just love making stuff. And the clocks are a lot of fun to make. They're not a lot of fun to carry and bring to these shows, but so all of you, I'm hoping that all of you buy a clock from me before 5 o'clock today, so I don't have to take them home, you know. But Michael, you're a nice guy.
Thank you.
You know, and Michael, come here. Michael gets this picture.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. And
Now we still have one more question though.
I've seen her.
All right. Yeah, I know.
She-
What flavor your milkshake was?
Yeah. Oh, vanilla.
Okay.
Vanilla. Thank you. Michael, you've been so joyful with me this weekend. You've made me laugh so many times. So you get this picture of me as Danny Zuko in Greece. Yeah, and it. I've never given one of those out, and you might care or you might not care. You might be more interested in my underwear. Side by side. Okay.
Turn around and get a picture with that, and hold on. Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. Would you take your pants off? Are you wearing my underwear today? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Gotta say, so that underwear has a little sticker on it that has a database, and it's going to click on it, and it's going to tell you this item, as I believe they call it, was signed this time. This all. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
You can authenticate anything?
I believe pretty much they'll do. I'll put it this way: I've never heard of them turning down anything. Maybe if it's beyond somebody's body, like he experienced, yeah. But as far as they're concerned, yeah, take it over all that stuff. So the Megaforce documentary is coming out. Anything else on the horizon?
This is our 50th. It's our 50th anniversary this year. We've got a lot of events.
Yeah, you go a little tour.
And we're
and,
doing
yeah.
a tour in September, October, 45 cities. I think I'm doing 28 of them, and then I'm doing a few more with Pat and Nell. And we're doing a convention or a 50th anniversary convention in LA in September. Tim will be there. And I think we're also doing a show, a one-nighter in Anaheim with Tim Curry and myself and Pat and Nell.
And I think we've got you and Susan at our Raleigh show.
The Raleigh show, yeah.
Yeah,
and
GalaxyCon Raleigh. Susan Sarandon, that'll be her first appearance with our company, and Barry. And I think he's gonna try to get just everybody else that he can.
Yeah.
We've had Tim before, but again, his challenge is, it's like limit his appearances.
Yeah. Well, everybody is so happy to have been involved in this movie over the years. I know the rumors are, well, Susan didn't like it or Tim didn't like it. Or that's all crap. I mean, they have been very, very proud of the work that we did and they did, and how the film has affected, I think, so many people in a very realistic and wonderful way. And so I think, are we done?
We're wrapping up. So yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Unless you want to do a song and dance or something like that, we'll make time for that,
Well,
Lady Love.
Lady Love. I have a lot of underwear to sell. Okay. Do you want to buy more of it, and maybe no, for each day? Yeah, 7 days of.
Right.
Yeah. You are really weird, aren't you?
Well, one final question.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a picture with this wonderful audience?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody, here's what we do. Coming up towards the stage, not on the stage. Coming up towards the stage, I want to take a picture of Barry and all of you. Now, he's going to stand kind of center right here. So what we want to do is kind of create a bubble.